So before we go further, I want you to take a look at what we have right here as a filter from both male and female gender right here. So we have them as an icon and we just embedded these particular ones into it. So we just want to create something like this. I'm going to take you through how I have done that under the transform data right here. If I scroll to this end, you can see I have these icons here. So this is what we're going to do right now. Let's see how we can actually do this. And you can do lots of it to actually make your dashboard look more fancy than ordinarily it should have been. Okay, let's do that. The very first thing you do is to make sure you hit transform data here. And I'm gonna just go ahead and select any cell. Okay, now that we are here, just click on the window icon on your keyboard, hold it down, and type the column. You're gonna see this. Do you get it now? I'm gonna do that again. So if you're using Windows, I think I know this to work better in Windows. If you're using Windows, you can just tap the key on your computer. That is the icon, the Windows icon on your computer, and the colon, symbol on your computer. So it's gonna give you this. So, and you can choose either of the gender you want to have. So I want to go with male gender, and I want to go with female gender. That is the female gender. I want to go with the male gender, something that look more like a boy or a male. So you can search through to get what you want. So we have lots of them, but the category I want to take from is this particular category right here. I think I'll prefer going with something like this. So this looks like a man. Okay, this is a man already. So as if we hover over it, woman and man. So we have two of them, right? So the column I'm talking about with your key is this particular column we have right here, which is this one. Let me make sure you are seeing it better on the screen. I'm gonna put it on white. So this is what you mix with the window icon. Then you're gonna have that particular, this particular thing pop. So once you just your window and the column, you're gonna have this. You can choose from it. So this is what you can use. So we've just gotten this right here. So what I'm gonna do next now is just to make sure I separate them. So Ctrl X to cut it. I'm gonna bring this one beneath here. So you can just paste this one right in here. So what is going on? So to make sure you identify which one is a man, I'm gonna say woman. So for his identification. So do we need to touch the color? Maybe if you want that. So we can just decide to just change the color like this. So now we're going to actually add, gender filter. So remember, it's going to take it automatically because here is this is a formal Excel table. So it's going to pick it. So and it's going to actually start entering this automatically for you once we actually we are done with the calculation. So how do we get this configured? So we're going to use the equal sign here. And once we use the equal sign, what we're going to say is this: if. So we scroll down to where we have the gender right in. If the gender, we're going to look for the gender, and the gender is so if the gender here is equal to male, so make sure you put it inside double quotation. So it's equal to male, close double quotation. So with your comma, look at it. It's telling you this is the test here. So it's telling you what you want. So if it is equal to male, if it is true, I want to get this icon. So we just have to freeze this because we don't want, when we copy it down, it will start moving. So your F4 key will help you to do that, and your comma. So if it is false, just make sure you give me this woman here, and my F4 key will help me lock it down and enter it, and it copies down, and this is what you have. Can you see it right now? There is no difference. So for we to copy this particular, kind of format into it, all we have to do is to Ctrl+C and just actually Ctrl+Shift down arrow. And what we need to do is just to make sure we paste this as what? As format. So here we go. As format, and that only works. Oh, Ctrl+Z, we have to do this again. So I think what we need to do is just this. I think we've done the right thing. So make sure we Ctrl+C on both of those one here and Ctrl+Shift down arrow. So right click and go to paste pressure. And this time around, all we want is just the format. So now we've gotten the formats right on it. So that is all we need to do. We've just created this particular gender filter here. For now, we're not going to see it. If I go to my analysis right here, so it wouldn't show up here yet. So for it to show up on this pivot table, what we can do now is for we to some kind of refresh. So I'm going to go right here and go to data, and you see where it says refresh. Let us refresh the current one, or we can refresh it. Let us refresh all. So it has been added for us automatically. It's going to be added. So let us go back to where it is. So if I scroll down now, so I should see it right here, gender filter. So that gender filter will be added to this. I'm just going to create my gender filter, go to pivot table and just filter. I'm going to scroll down and here we go. We have it. I'm going to click on OK. Now we have it. It's working on this. So we can add the same filter to this just to make the connection. Go to the same pivot table, analyze, and go to filter connections. And make sure you click on gender and click on OK. So to everything we've created, we want to add the filter right on it. So here we just make another new connection here as well. And this is exactly what it is. I think we have one more filter to be created. That is the department filter, right? So if you check right on this previous one now, we have a department filter right here. So we just want to create the same filter, and that is all. So once we create it for once, it has been done for us. So I'm going to right click on this, and once you right click, you can see where it says add as slicer, and you're going to have the same thing. Can you see it? The next thing you do is just for you to make your connection right from here, and you're set to go. So add your connection, and you can actually add the same connection to this one. So what we've just done now is something very, very helpful. So we've just gotten our filter created. So if we go back right now, it will definitely change the value we have right here. But this time around, we don't want to bring the filter right in yet. So we want to leave it this way. So I just want to show you how to actually have this done, specifically the icon part where we have this icon and all of that. So it helps a lot to make our dashboard look more fancier than we had ever expected.